everybody, welcome back to Smells Like Teen Eggs. I'm Jordan, and today we're going to talk about The Running Man, starring Glen Powell. The Running Man is a remake of it's not really a remake of a 1980s movie. It's another adaptation of a Stephen King novel. It was adapted once in the 1980s, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. This time we have a new take on it with Glen Powell. The Running Man is basically a dystopian novel about this crazy game show where you just basically, it's like The Amazing Race, but you might die. Now, I was told that this version follows the book more closely than the other version. I've never read the book, so I can't tell you that. What I can say is that I loved this version. I felt like it was a little too timely considering our current socio-political climate and everything that's going on, but I also think that's why I liked it so much because the stakes were relatable. They felt high. I have seen the 1980s version. I felt like it wasn't really relatable or it wasn't like true to life. I don't know. It just didn't really resonate with me the same way that this version did. I feel like Glen Powell was the right choice for this movie. He is really great to look at. Not necessarily that I find him attractive. I just think that like he is our new action star, which I think that we've been missing for a while. We haven't had an action movie guy in the way that Glen Powell embodies that. Between Top Gun and Twister and now The Running Man, I feel like we're getting this everyman action star. Like we've had The Rock and we've had some of these like giant built up guys, and now we're getting more of an everyman, like everyday action guy, the way that Tom Cruise was back in the 90s. The cast in this movie is stacked. We've got Glen Powell, Lee Pace, Coleman Domingo, Michael Cera, like so many stars, and all of them are perfect in their roles. Oh my God. Coleman Domingo eats up every scene he is in. And I feel like he does this in every movie, so it's kind of not fair to say that. But in this one, he was super on, and you just can't help but wait for him to come back on screen. I really like the world that they set up. We get dumped right into it, which was one of my favorite things. I don't necessarily love movies that have to give you this giant backstory or exposition. I like it when they just drop you in the world and then they continue to live in that world and make it make sense. And I think that I did that really great in this movie. We get just enough of Glen Powell's character's backstory to know how he ended up in this position. They talk enough about what's going on with currency to make you realize that like we're maybe 20, 25 years in the future, and things have not been great. If you are living under our current timeline and you are a little frustrated by that, if you're into politics, if you love dystopian fiction, this is definitely the movie for you. I feel like the movie was paced really well. It is a long movie. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes, so get ready for that. But it's paced really well. You go into it knowing that you're going to watch a 30-day chase. So you have the expectation that there's going to be a lot of small moments in this movie, but they all feel really great and lend to the overall story. Also, if you are familiar with our channel, you know that we talk a lot about Stephen King here, and I will say one thing that I loved about this adaptation is that they definitely dropped some Stephen King Easter eggs. The movie takes place on the East Coast, so they do mention Bangor and Derry, Maine, which like not huge parts of the movie, but definitely parts that with a wink and a nudge to those Stephen King fans out there. The only thing about the movie that I will say I did not like, and not even that I didn't like it, I think it just set the expectation there was going to be a lot of music in the film. There's a lot of music in the 80s version, and this one starts out with like a really great deep cut Sly Stone song, but that's kind of the only song we get in the whole movie. I wish they had used more music, especially because we have so many great chase sequences and action sequences and car chases. It would have been great to have some music to go along with that. You should definitely go see it. It is a ton of fun. It's going to make you think. It's going to challenge you a little bit. Great set design, just great cast, great writing. Overall, 10 out of 10 movie.
I'm still here, you shit eaters.
Thanks so much for watching this review. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, and let us know in the comments what you thought about The Running Man. Bye, guys.